Anything we do can be evaluated by gauging the overall performance. It could be the completion of a project, or shipping an item, or manufacturing a product, or providing a service. A project can be evaluated based on its timely completion, meeting all the predetermined objectives. Shipping of an item could be evaluated on the basis of the delivery period and the condition of delivered items. Similarly, manufacturing of a product can be evaluated based on the technology used, processes followed, and the overall quality of the product. Such evaluations with performance as the criterion enables us to track whether things are progressing in the right direction. Time consumption, quality of output, and return on investment can be included as the different aspects that could help evaluate the performance of anything and take necessary steps to improve further thereon. If you feel the drive to learn more about how to manage and monitor your performance, sit tight and watch us unravel the mysteries of performance management right on your screens.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video with any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.
Hello friends, welcome to this course on performance management, which is offered by Great Learning. So I hope you guys are doing well, and wherever you are, take care of yourself and be safe. So what exactly are we going to be talking about here? Performance management. What exactly is performance, right? So let it be whatever you do. Let it be cricket, let it be football, sports in one way, or let it be driving, let it be walking, running, cooking, let it be at your workplace. So whatever activity that you're doing can be evaluated based on the performance at which you are able to achieve, based on the output at which you are able to bring in the value. So depending upon all these things, we'll be able to measure the performance. And how are we able to manage the performance of our team in which we are working or in which we're actually part of? How can you improve yourself? And how can we help others improve to get better performance? Don't you want to know? And that's exactly what we'll be covering. So basically, whatever activity that you will be doing will be able to evaluate it. As I said, let it be walking, running, long jump, high jump, sports activities, the work you do, the cooking, cleaning, whatever activity that you do on a day-to-day basis, just name them, we'll be able to evaluate and we'll be able to measure the output of the performance at which you are working. And the only thing that I can recollect of not able to measure is love. Love can be measured, right? Love, the way at which person sees you, values you, treats you, all those things is not being able to judged by the performance. So that is the one exceptional criteria that we are having here. Even then, we'll be able to judge them based on the way at which they are treating us, the respect that they are giving us, the kind of concern and the kind of attention that they are providing to us. So even then, based on all these criteria, we'll be able to perform or we'll be able to evaluate that as well. So what exactly are we going to be covering here? What are the various topics that we are having here with us in this particular course on performance management? What do you want to know? So let's get started with this course by looking into the agenda. What all are the various topics or the modules that we are having in this particular course on performance management, which is being offered to you right now. So these are the various topics that we are having here for you guys. We'll start off by the first particular module. What is performance management? So I have already briefed you about what is performance is and how we'll be able to evaluate and measure and get the particular output to evaluate whether it is working fine or not and how it can be improved. And that's exactly what performance management is all about. How are we able to manage our performance? And how are we able to manage the performance in such a way that we are able to bring in better outputs? We are able to improve ourselves, our team, and we are able to perform to our maximum efficiency as well. So that is exactly what we'll be seeing in our first particular module on what exactly is performance management. Right after that, we'll be moving on to our second module. What is our second module? As you see on the screen, it is nothing than corporate performance management. What exactly is corporate performance management? And have you ever heard of this particular term or definition on this particular thing? corporate performance management? Okay, by the name itself, you will be able to guess something, right? So keep it like that itself. We'll be coming on to that without much delay. And right after completing on corporate performance management, we'll be moving on to our next module, which is nothing but people performance management. It is always about the performance which we evaluate, right? How well are we be able to do, and how well we can able to get the things done in the proper way. And the most common thing which are involved here are people. People are the one who takes care of things and who implements the things in the right way, ensuring that we are getting the direct output in the actual desired output manner, right? So we will be deciding something, and if we're not getting the particular output, then what is the sole purpose of doing the particular activity? And here we'll be talking about that people performance management. And what exactly is that? We'll be seeing on that as well in this particular module. And after completing on corporate performance management and on people performance management, we'll be moving on to our next particular topic, which is nothing but performance management programs. What are the various performance management programs that we are having, and how we'll be able to inculcate all those things to our day-to-day activities and ensure that we are improving ourselves. We are on the track of continuous improvement. And how are we able to do that? By implementing performance management. And how well are you be able to do that? That is exactly what we'll be covering in this particular course itself. In all these modules, that's exactly what we'll be seeing in one way or the other. And in performance management programs, what are the programs that is available to us? How many ways in which we'll be able to have a particular approach implemented? And what is the right approach for us to have all these things done in the right manner? Don't you want to know? And that is exactly what we'll be covering there in this particular module on performance management programs. And after completing on all these modules, we'll be completely going on to our particular module. That is our last module, which is nothing but performance management cycle. What exactly is a performance management cycle? We have heard that there are a lot of cycles, right? Maybe there are a lot of phases as well. So in what all ways will we be able to categorize performance management into cycles? How are we able to do that? And what are the various stages which are present in this particular cycle? Or what are the phases that are present in the cycle? Don't you want to know how well we'll be able to manage, and how well do we need to be informed to take the right decision to ensure that the employees are comfortable, they are working with the best of their ability to bring in the best output they can? So that's all we will be talking, or we'll be taking care of in this particular course on performance management. So without wasting much of your time, let us get going with our first particular topic on what is performance management. And after that, we'll be having a completely clear idea or a brief idea on what is performance management. And thereafter that, we'll be completely covering through all these topics one by one. So let's get going. Getting started into our course with the first particular module which we are having here. What is performance management? So as every management term evolves, we'll be knowing, or we'll be able to understand that performance management is actually nothing but a management scheme or a process that is being taken care to manage effectively the performance at which we are able to get the output, or we are able to work and bring in the particular result to the particular company which we are working, or to any task or activity or any process that are held with us. And whatever responsibilities which we are having, with how much efficiency are you being able to do that? And all these management things comes into picture on performance management will be held here. So without wasting much time, let's get started by understanding what exactly is performance management. Performance management is a corporate management tool that enables managers to monitor and evaluate the work. So what is the sole responsibility or the task held with a manager? Manager needs to assign tasks and also need to ensure that the assigned tasks are being done or are being completed by the deadline which was given to them. And in order to do that, what do they need to do? They need to first give the particular tasks or priorities, and then what they need to do? They need to make sure that they are able to get that particular task done on time. So the objectives should be practical, should be achievable. And once you realize that this particular can be achieved with our team and by the performance which they are showcasing, then the managers will be assigning the task and deadline. And after that, the manager should be ensuring that they are able to get the work done in the right way. Not just getting the work done will be doing the thing, but you should be getting the work done in the right way with most efficiency and properness. So how will you be able to do that? So that managers needs to be monitoring. They needs to be monitoring all the activities that are being taking place within their zone. Whatever activities are they held with, what other tasks are their responsibilities, all those things whichever comes into his KPI, key performance indicator, all those things should be completely monitored and also controlled by a manager. And in performance management, we ensure that this is being taking place. So in short, performance management can be called or can be classified as a corporate management tool which is being taken care of by managers to ensure that they are able to give the particular objectives to their employees and also to ensure that they are able to get the work done out at the particular period of time which were actually estimated and given to them. Performance management team works on enabling an effective environment to bring out their best. So for example, if I am saying that in your workplace you don't like your manager or you don't like the colleagues whom you are working with, the kind of vibe and the kind of energy which you are having when you go to office or when you are having work is not so good, then what is the kind of efficiency or what is the kind of perfection to which you are able to work? It is so certain that if you don't like what you're doing, you won't do it in the right way. That is first thing. And even if you're trying to do the things in the right way, you won't be able to do that. And the kind of mentality that you are having and the kind of mental issues that you need to be taking care of is going to be drastic. So one key thing that we ensure here in performance management here is that we ensure that we are providing a safe and sound environment for our employees to bring out the best they can. Because unless and until the employees are comfortable, your teammates or team members or colleagues are comfortable in that particular space, working for the company in the best possible way, they'll not be able to do so. And how can you bring in a better environment for your team so that you are so certain that you'll be able to get the work done at much more pace and also with much more effectiveness and efficiency and perfection? So how can you do that? And one task which we are having here is to provide them with the basic necessity of providing them the happy environment to work with. Performance management focuses on accountability, transparency, efficiency from the employees. So when a task is being held with you or when you are assigned with a task, it is so certain that or it is so obvious that we are trusting you, we are trusting the particular person whom to which it is assigned to, that it will be completed within this particular time period in the most perfect way or the desired way, which we need to be getting it. So that is how we actually classify and segregate our project and give it to or assign it to the particular person or particular employee. And if we are doing that, we expect something from those particular employee to the company or to the manager. And what all are those? It is nothing but accountability, transparency, and efficiency from employees. The employee should be accountable for whatever they are held with. If anything goes wrong, they need to be accountable for it. They need to be responsible for it, and they need to be answerable for it as well. So they should be the person who is responsible and who needs to be answering and who needs to be taking care of all the activities that is being held with him, because the company or the manager is trusting that particular person to get that particular work out. And that is one most point that you need to be taking care of: accountability. You are the sole person responsible. Then comes transparency. You should be completely transparent with your manager and with your organization in which whatever you're doing, whatever tasks which you're doing. If you are transparent enough, the manager will be able to understand that, okay, fine, this particular employee or this particular person is having a lot of workload on his plate. There are a lot of tasks which I have assigned to him, and I am so certain that it will not be possible for him to complete it. And I'll be able to get that particular understanding if you are being transparent. So being transparent and opening up and sharing your views and thoughts and ideas would be great help here. And that is also one quality which we actually require to make sure that we are providing a better environment and we are actually more comfortable and making them more comfortable working with you. And next comes efficiency. If certain tasks are given to you, you should make sure that you are getting the things done and out with the particular efficiency and desired quality in the particular period of time itself. And in order to do that, you should do in an efficient manner. You should not be wasting your time. The time which you're spending on work should be completely dedicated for that. Okay, fine. We tend to take breaks and we tend to look at our phones and talk about people and chit chat here and there and go have a coffee or a smoke break. So it is all completely allowed here. But whenever you're working, make sure that you are completely focused on your work so that you are able to get the particular thing out in the most effective way, the desired output, and you are also able to get the work satisfaction and promotion and desired reward as well. The team ensure that all the employees have a clear understanding of what is being expected out of them. So if you think, or if you are a person who doesn't know what the employer wants out of from you, you joined a company and you don't know what they're expecting out of you, then how will you be able to perform? If you don't know what your key performance indicator is, how will you be able to achieve that? So in the first place, what you need to have is, you need to know what is the tasks, responsibilities, or the particular things which are assigned to you, and what is the particular thing that you need to be focusing on and you need to be bringing out. So in order to understand for the particular customer or particular employee to understand, we, the employer or the manager, should take the effort to make them understand these are your KPIs, these are your main tasks and responsibilities. And if you focus on completely this, you will be able to get the particular output out of it, and we'll be getting the benefit and you'll be getting the reward and you'll be getting satisfaction as well. So even if you're working a lot of time, you're putting a lot of effort and all those things, but if you're not getting the result, you will not be satisfied. You'll be like, okay, fine, I'm putting a lot of effort. I'm not focusing on my family. I'm not focusing on my personal stuff. I'm completely focusing on the work. And even then, I'm not getting the complete output out of it. I'm not getting the complete result, even though I'm putting a lot of effort. You'll not be satisfied. In that case, you'll not be happy working there and you'll not be happy with yourself as well. So you should be knowing what is the task which are assigned to you and what are the company expected from you. What do they need from you? So understand that and also make sure that you are actually aligning your tasks, responsibilities, and work culture in such a manner that you are able to maintain to make sure that your KPIs are being intact and you know what is your KPI and you know how to work effectively and efficiently and bring in more value to the company and also more satisfaction to yourself as an employee. Performance management helps the employees to align goals with what is being expected out of them and their career progress. So they should be able to align their goals with what is being expected. So as I've said before, right now in the previous point, you should be knowing what is being expected out of yourself. And while making sure that, this particular person has been assigned with this particular task, you should be knowing what is being expected out of them and what is the particular job role which you're given to them. Is it matching? One thing. And the next one is that talk to your employees and get an idea on what their career progress is like, what their career objective is like. And if you are able to assign tasks to them accordingly, you will be able to see wonders because they know that the employees whom are assigned to these particular tasks know that, okay, fine, these projects are completely important to me because not just because the company want me to do it, but because I am able to keep this in my resume, in my CV and add value to my profile. And these particular projects or similar projects will be helping me out in my future companies which I am applying to. And it will be helping me to achieve the position which I desire of. So if you are actually aligning the tasks or activities or functions which you need to be performed by an employee, just align them with the career goals they are having, the career progress they are actually desiring of, and the complete KPIs in which they are working. So you will be able to get wonders and you will be wondered how things are working for you. Performance management works by creating objectives, measuring milestones, and evaluating performance. So as I've already mentioned, in order to get the performance management or in order to know the performance, what should be done? We should be measuring the performance. We should be knowing in what level are we working? In what level are we getting the particular output? Don't we know to know that? Because performance is all about evaluating, measuring, and getting the particular output in the desired manner. So in order to get that particular thing done, the first thing is that you need to be creating the objectives. what is the objective that you need to be getting done? And is it practical? Is it feasible to be implemented? And the employees who are actually assigned with these particular objectives, will they be able to do so? So these are the various things that you need to be keeping in mind while assigning or creating any objective. And you should be measuring milestones. So if this is going to be a big project which is lasting for around 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, or even 6 months, just do one thing. Just break it into minimal points or sub-points or sub-projects or minor projects, so that you will be able to create value there by creating the milestones. You will be able to say that, okay, fine, you are completed the first milestone, you're going to the second milestone. These are the tasks that you need to be completing to achieve third milestone. So that whenever the employees are actually working on their particular project, they'll be knowing, okay, I've completed my first milestone, second milestone, and third milestone, and having these many milestones ahead. So I need to be completing that as well. So if this particular project is completely considered as one single entity, then the employees will not be getting satisfied because they think it is not getting completed. I am working on daily basis. I am working on lot many activities, and I am not seeing the particular result in the particular project. So if you're actually dividing it and making milestones, if you're actually measuring your milestones and making all the necessary arrangements like that, the employees will be understanding, okay, fine, I'm having 10 milestones and I have completed 3 of them. Let's say 30% done. I need to be working on 70% more. And how can we do that? What is the next milestone that I'm having ahead? And am I satisfied with the complete 3 milestones? I've already completed 3 milestones and am I happy? So all these things will be putting in a lot of value to you, your employee, and also to the results which you are getting. Managing the workflow and prioritizing tasks are vital to perform well in any organization. It is so certain that when you're working for any company, it is not just one task that you will be working on. You will be working on task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5. So you will be working on simultaneous projects or simultaneous tasks, or even within a single project. If you're completely focused on one project, okay, you're assigned one particular project. Even in that one particular project, you will be assigned with several tasks which you need to be addressing at the same time. So how can you do that? How will you know what is the task that you need to be addressing to first? So you need to be prioritizing your tasks. Which is the most important priority task that I need to be addressing to? If I delay this particular task, will it be affecting or will it be causing any loss for the company? If not, just don't prioritize first. And if I address to task 3, it is going to be making an impact right now. And if I delay it, it is going to get a negative impact on the company and for the team itself. So you will be getting to know what is the priority that I am having on these many tasks. So just prioritize your tasks and perform well. If you're not prioritizing your task, even though you're getting, or even though if you're actually putting in a lot of effort and time and energy, you'll not be performing well. So prioritizing tasks is also one most important thing that you need to be keeping in mind. Performance management helps in knowing why a task is getting delayed and what can be done to get it sorted. Because we are overlooking at all the activities, we are actually monitoring and measuring all the performance. Are we getting the expected performance which we are actually expecting? If not, why no? In the first place, we make sure that whatever objectives we create is practical and it can be achieved and it is feasible for any employee to take care of. In such cases, we are so certain that assigning this particular task to any employee will get this done. And if that is not the case, why is it happening? What is the trouble that the particular employee or the particular team was facing? What is the kind of hurdle that they had to overcome? And what is the time that they had to, or what is the phase that they had to spend a lot of time in which? So we'll be knowing, and if the particular action is done in the right time, we'll be able to sort it out at the much more easier pace and easier way. So necessary communication is important. That's why I mentioned transparency is also important. Accountability is also important, but transparency helps us to understand what is the trouble and helps us, and the management will be able to help you whenever you're actually facing any issue. If you are, and if the management is actually able to help you, why don't you ask for their help, and why don't you get it done in the right way so that it will not be affecting your KPI and you will be getting the particular output in the most desired way, and you don't need to fry your brains there. So that's why important tasks we need to be prioritized. You need to be knowing what is your KPI, and you need to be managing all these things in the right way so that you are working and the completely assigned tasks are also aligning with your career progress or career goals. So by doing all these things, you will be able to manage the performance at which you're working, your team is working, the company is going forward. So that is all about briefly on performance management for you guys. Moving on to our next module, which is nothing but corporate performance management. What exactly is corporate performance management? Don't you want to know? So you will be getting to know that right away because I am going to deal with that right now. Corporate performance management is also known as strategic performance management or enterprise performance management. So even if you come across the term corporate performance management, strategic performance management, or even enterprise performance management, all three terms refer to the same thing. And what are all these three terms referring to? Don't you want to know? Yes, let's get going. CPM, that is corporate performance management, focuses on the entire performance of the organization. So it is not just that we are focusing on one particular project or one particular team or one particular department. Here, in corporate performance management, we care about the entire organization, how the organization is entirely performing. Is it performing good or bad? Here we will be having a comparison with our competitors and our industry experts, and we'll be knowing what is the kind of market trends going on and are we up to the mark. So we need to be evaluating ourselves, our organization as such, because there are a lot of departments, a lot of teams, a lot of people, a lot of projects coming into picture, and we are working on achieving all those things to the best of our quality. So even if all these projects and departments and people are working together, is it actually helping the organization grow or organization perform well when compared to the competitors, when compared to others in the market, and how are we actually having a mark in the market? So that is exactly what we are concerned about in corporate or strategic or enterprise performance management. CPM manages processes that help the organization to define and execute the business strategies. So in order to get a thing done, we should be having certain plans or strategies within our hand so that we'll be able to implement, we'll be able to take care or take chance or advantage of all these strategies which we are having and employ it or implement it so that we'll be getting the benefit of the particular strategy. So we'll be needing to try some strategies and find out whether it is working for us. Maybe if it is working for someone else, it might be working for us, but it's not so certain that it will be working for us. So we might be needing to come up with our own strategy which is working for us. So what is those strategy? We should be defining our strategy. What would be a strategy that would be working for us in the most better way? And how can we come up with the strategy? By planning, organizing, and doing the research and sitting with the managers, sitting with the teammates, and studying the market and analyzing the trends as well. So in order to get that done, we need to be doing all these things. And even after understanding your particular strategy, maybe the strategy which you have found out through your research is the perfect one. But even if you don't know how to implement it, the strategy which you have found out will be waste. The kind of amount of money and the time and energy that you have spent on achieving this particular strategy will be going in vain if you're not able to implement the strategy in the right way. So here CPM, that is corporate performance management, takes care of all these things, helps in defining the organization's strategy and also execute and implement in the right way so that we are getting the desired output from it. CPM, that is corporate performance management, also offers to monitor and measure the organization's overall performance in various aspects. So what is the kind of growth that you will be having? Maybe in the number of sales, maybe in the number of manufacturing, production, maybe in the time which we are consuming to produce one particular item, maybe on the efficiency, maybe on the amount of time spent, maybe on the amount of money spent. So there are various aspects to everything. So one thing can be actually found out by looking into a lot of categories, right? We should be actually studying a lot of specifications and features to understand that. For example, if you're buying a phone, you will be going for the RAM, you'll be looking for the camera, you'll be looking for the processor and various such features which is important for you. The battery backup you're getting, the fast charging capabilities. So all these things are various features that you are going to define, right? So it is not just one factor that is influencing you to take up a decision on which phone to buy. So you will be summing up all those things. You'll be looking into various aspects, various features, which is going to be benefiting, and what are the compromises that you can tend to make to particular items so that you will be getting other benefits as well. So one particular item may be good in the other things, but its processor is not so good. So you will be okay, fine, okay. Even if these particular things are done, the processor is not good. So how will all these activities can be taking place in that particular phone? So you would be knowing, okay, fine, I would not be preferring this. I would be going for a better processor. So like that, if you need to take the decision, you should be knowing. You should be actually analyzing all the aspects that you should be looking into. So it's not just that, if you're buying a phone, are you being able to make the call? That is the main sole purpose of phone, right? So it is not just that thing that you will be looking at, because we know that a phone will be capable of making calls. So what are the additional features? What are the additional specifications or features that we are having or we are being given by the amount which we are spending on this particular phone? So it is about that. So we should be knowing, we should be measuring the overall performance on various aspects, how the organization as a whole is growing, is booming, and what is the kind of feedback that we are getting, and what is the kind of improvements that we need to be taking into consideration. So all those things will be valuable here. CPM engages tools like strategic planning, budgeting, forecasting, KPIs, dashboards, and analytics. So these are the various tools which are available to us to measure the performance and understand where we stand in terms of the market, in terms of our competitors, and in terms of various other factors as I've mentioned. So what all the other things that will be enabling us to make the right decisions and right measurements? So we'll be doing strategic planning. Without plan, we'll not be able to implement it. So if you are actually planning to construct a building or construct your home, the first thing that you need to be having is a plan. Without plan, how will you build your home? How will you build your house? Let it be anything, you should be actually having a plan, at least a basic plan, so that you will be able to work on that plan and then come up with new ideas and make it a final plan. And after planning, we need to be implementing it. In order to implement, you should be having the fund. How would you be able to budget? What is the kind of financial resources that you are having? What is the kind of capital you'll be able to investment? And for what period will you be able to invest? So all those things comes into picture. You should be forecasting what would be the demand that you would be having in this particular season. And will you be able to meet the particular demands? So you should be knowing the particular demands and you should be forecasting it so that you will be able to supply or you will be able to address to the requirements that you are getting. Then comes KPIs, dashboard, and analytics. As I've already mentioned, what KPI is, key performance indicator. So thereby, you will be evaluated on your KPIs. Dashboards, what are the activities that you're given? What are the processes or projects that you are assigned with? What are the tasks you are addressing to? What is the problem that you actually came up with and you actually overcome all the struggles and you actually face the challenge and got out with it? All those things are some tools which are available to us to measure the performance at which we are working, and we'll also be able to get an understanding on where we are and what is the kind of improvement that we need to be taking place so that we will be able to continuously improve ourselves and provide better quality and service in whatever we are doing. Now let's have a look at our next module, which is nothing but people performance management. So without wasting much time, let us get going with this. People performance management, or PPM, focuses on management of people within an organization. So an organization's main resource is its human resource, the employees who are working for them. And it is our responsibility as an employer to make sure that our team, our employees are happy, satisfied, and hence they are actually able to perform well and bring in more value to the organization. And that's the main motive, right? The main motive of applying or implementing humans in the workplace is to make sure that we are getting work done out of them by employing them. So that is the main reason why we are having employees or human resources within our team, because that is the most valuable asset that we can have. Even if we think that the kind of asset which you have brought into a company, the kind of employee who have come into a company is not so good. But even then, we are able to upskill the particular employee, give training to the particular employee, give confidence and courage so that they will be in a position to take up the work and get the things done in the right proper manner. So people performance management is also very much necessary. People performance management confirms whether their performance contributes towards the strategic goal of the organization. As I've mentioned, any organization, any company, any business you are into, any organizations you are part of, they'll be having a strategic goal. They'll be having a goal at which they are actually working for that. So the goal which they might be focusing on time to time would be changing. So even then, there is a strategic goal which every company follows or every company tries in achieving it. So here in people performance management, we confirm whether the performance or the employees or the people who are actually working for the company is actually aligned or effective with the particular goal which you actually planned, and how is it going? When will we be achieving it? And is the kind of performance by these people or these employees is good for us as a company? And will it be taking us to the particular objective in the right time or even before? Or is there any issues that we need to be addressing to or we need to be taking care of to ensure that there is no delay or there is no dilemma or there is no struggle that they are actually going through which actually affects our particular objective? People performance management ensures corporate goals and priorities are conveyed and aligned with the corporate goals. So we actually convey our priorities, convey what our goal is, what are we aiming for, and how will we be able to achieve that. And just by defining our priorities and goal is not enough. We should be planning and we should be implementing and we should be making necessary arrangements so that people will be able to work and people will be able to put in all their effort to the best of their ability to align their work to our strategic goals so that they'll be able to contribute in an effective manner so that we'll be able to get the benefit and we are actually having a well qualified and skilled labor force or workforce within our team. And we should be aligning our tasks and responsibilities to the people who are actually having that particular experience or that particular expertise in that particular area. PPM helps individuals understand where they stand, how they can improve moving forward. So not by knowing where they stand, they'll not be able to improve how they actually need to be. So actually working on your feedback and comments are actually very important. Only then you will be knowing how you're actually working. You might be thinking you're working the right way, but you might not be right. What is that you are doing wrong? And how can you improve? So only by knowing where you stand, you will be knowing how to reach what you're actually expecting of. And how can you reach? That realization is the key part here. Only by realizing that you are not performing well or you are not in the particular area which you thought of, that realization is what you need to have in the first place. And people performance management helps us achieve that, helps to evaluate the performance of each of the employees and guide them in the right way so that they are not demotivated, they are getting motivated, they are getting encouraged, and we are actually upskilling them and giving them the certain trainings and capabilities in which they'll be able to bring in value to themselves, thereby bringing value to our company as well. PPM engages tools like awards, recognition, appraisals, and personal development plans. So these are the things that we'll be able to guide or we'll be able to aid our employees with. Appraisals, rewards. So if they are performing well, if they are actually able to attain the targets and they're actually bringing in value to our company, we should be recognizing them. We should be applauding and appraising them. We can be giving in promotions or any other certain things that we'll be able to make sure that they are feeling valued. And personal development programs and upskillings and trainings can also be given to all the employees to ensure that they are getting better on a daily basis. So that's all about PPM, that is People Performance Management, in this particular module. Let's now talk about the various performance management programs that we are having to inculcate to our workforce so that we'll be able to evaluate, measure, and get a higher performance and manage the performance effectively to our needs and desires. So that's exactly what we'll be seeing here right now. So these are the various performance management programs that I have got for you. Starting off with aligning activities with the company's goals. Next goes developing specific job performance outcomes, creating job development plans, conducting regular meetings, evaluating the overall performance. So these are the 5 various performance management programs that I have put forward. Starting off with the first one, which is nothing but aligning activities with the company's goals. So we are so certain that there are a lot of aspects that we need to be taking care of and we need to be looking into. So first of all, understand what are those? what are those activities or tasks or things that we need to be inculcating and we need to be understanding and we need to be focusing on. So after that, after understanding what are the various aspects that we are having into picture, then we should be aligning our tasks, our responsibilities with the goals, so that we are actually aiming for it and we are actually getting closer on daily basis to our goal or objective, which are assigned or planned accordingly by the management. So how well are we be able to doing that? So that can be done only by assigning all the tasks and activities that we are held with, matching or aligning with our objectives or goals with the firm has put forward. And the next one would be developing specific job performance outcomes. So what is the kind of outcome that is being expected out of you? And what is the designation you are into? And what is the kind of responsibilities, tasks, and in the job description itself, it will be given to you while you are joining any company. And while hiring the particular candidate itself, we need to be knowing what this candidate is to be doing and what would be his role and what would be the kind of tasks which he would be involved in. And only then we'll be able to evaluate that particular employee even when we are actually hiring them. And in that particular process itself, we should be having a clear idea what would be his particular role and what would be the kind of outcome that we are expecting out of him. So developing specific job development or job performance outcome and planning how to be doing all these things are also one of the most important thing or the programs which you will be able to involve or inculcate to your organization so that you will be able to get the maximum benefit out of it. And the next one would be creating job development plans. How can you be improving? How can you develop yourself in terms of professionally and also personally? Because if you are developing professionally and not personally, you would be having certain issues here and there which should not be actually making you much efficient in your professional arena. And in order to be professionally developed and professionally performing very well, the first thing or the primary most important thing is that you need to be personally developed as well. Because if you're not having your communication skills, soft skills, and other skills which you need to possess on personal basis for your personal development, then how do you expect the employers to trust in your professional arena? So developing yourself personally and giving them the opportunity to develop and upskill is also one of the most important tasks which are held with the employer to make sure that he is capable, he is upskilled, he is actually updated with the market trend, and he is the person who is actually being able to add value to himself and thereby to the organization as well. Next one would be conducting regular meetings. We need to be knowing what is the progress, what is happening within the team, and where have they reached on understanding or on implementing the tasks which were assigned to them. And is it actually going according to the plan? Is there any differences, or are they well ahead, or are there something which we need to be stepping in and helping them out from the management point of view? So that can be understood by only conducting regular meetings and taking updates from the employees or from the members who are actually directly involved with the particular project and the ones who are answerable and accountable. So it is them with which we are actually needing to conduct a meeting, and we need to be also often connecting with the employees or the team members completely so that we'll be able to get the feedbacks, the benefits, the kind of ideas and novelty that we'll be able to bring into our workforce to make a better place for the employees so that they'll be able to perform well, and thereby we'll be able to get the most perfect outcome or the output. The last one would be evaluating the overall performance. As I've already mentioned, there will be a lot of aspects that we need to be looking into. So taking the case of a bike or a car which you are actually buying, how much is the power the engine is offering? How much is the mileage that you are getting? How much distance would we be covering if it's charged completely in one charge, if it's an electric car? So all these things are the various aspects. So what is the kind of drivability? What is the kind of turning ratio? What is the kind of cornering ability? What is the kind of comfortness that you are getting while traveling this particular vehicle? So all these things are the various aspects in an automobile. So when you're working for any company similar to that, or similar to any kind of field, you will be needing to face all such aspects as well. So depending upon the sector you are into, depending upon the category you are into, you will be facing different tasks or different responsibilities or different specifications of features you should be looking into. So based on all these things, you should be knowing how well are you performing, in what category you need to be improving, what category are you having the most perfect strength and value. So all these things are the various programs that I have put forward for you so that you will be able to manage your team efficiently and effectively, so that you will be able to manage the performance, measure the performance, and also bringing in the most valuable output to your organization. Now let's move on with our performance management cycle. Let's have a look at that, or let's have a look at what are the various phases that we are having in performance management cycle. The 4 phases that we are having here in performance management cycle are planning, monitoring, reviewing, and rewarding. So these are the various 4 phases or stages that we are having in performance management cycle. So without much delay, let us get going with each of these one by one and understand what exactly these words mean in performance management cycle. Starting off with our first phase or first stage of performance management cycle, which is nothing but planning. So what exactly is planning? Planning is actually the first or the foundation stage of the entire performance management cycle. If you're not having a firm plan wherein which you are actually inculcating all the activities or all the tasks which you need to be addressing to, then the complete project which you're working on would be going in vain and you would not be getting the best output that you should be getting it. So planning is the key here. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So that is the important key thought that you should be keeping in mind while you are in your planning phase, because if you don't give the complete attention to everything, every detail, then the complete project can be turning into a failure. Team leads and managers help develop an overall strategic plan for the business in this particular phase. So the team leads and the managers would be knowing what exactly is the objective or what exactly is the ultimate goal that we are trying to achieve, and what would be the obstacles or hurdles or challenges that we will be overcoming or we needed to be overcoming, and all these things needs to be addressed too. So in the planning phase itself, if we are actually having an idea on all the struggles that we should be going through or we may be going through, then we can include all those things in the plan and we'll be able to have an alternative and we'll be able to have a solution well ahead whenever we are actually in the phase or actually facing all these particular issues. So that is the key reason why planning is necessary and important, and why team leads or managers deal with this. And it's not mentioned that, the employees or the team members are not having any voice, but they're also having a voice. But it's usually the team leads and managers who take the decision as usual. Setting of goals for performance period is one main task which takes place during this particular phase. So we'll be having the performance period, right? Wherein which, we'll be evaluating ourselves for the performance of last 6 months, 12 months, or 1 year. So depending upon the performance phase or performance period, we'll be having the objective plan like that. So in this particular performance period, what would be the achievements that we would be having in our pocket or in our plan? And how will we be able to achieve that? Is it practical? Will we be able to get the benefit out of it? And will we be able to implement the things as of our plan? So that's exactly what this is all about. Goals are set by following the SMART methodology. And what exactly is SMART methodology? SMART methodology involves SMART, which is nothing but specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We should be having a specific goal. So the goal should not be either this or that. We should be having a specific goal. What do we need to achieve? What exactly are we targeting at? So it should be specific and it should be measurable. How much effectivity did we have there? How much actually we got from our plan? Did we actually get the desired output? And you should be comparing and measuring and getting to know all these feedback. Only then you will be able to at least improve the next time when you are trying to implement the things. So measuring, and it should be measurable. Achievable. As I always say, when you are giving your objectives to your employees, it should be achievable. If it's not achievable, the main problem is that the employees are so certain that this goal or this particular target is not going to be achieved from our end. Then why should we work for it? The kind of mentality they'll be having will be like that, and they will not be working at all, and they'll not be even trying to work at least whatever they could have done. So that is why we should be actually having our plans accordingly. We should be actually having all these things which are achievable and practical to implement. Relevant. The relevant is not nothing but, we should be having relevant objectives, which is currently trending, currently updated, and currently the customers or the people are actually looking forward for it. And it should be relevant with the time span which we are working. And by the time, if you actually manufacture and get the thing out, it should not be outdated. So we should be working on relevant projects at relevant time, making sure that we are not manufacturing or obsolete products. Next comes time bound. We should need to time everything. What would be the estimated period of time for you to complete this particular project? Whenever your client is giving you a project, the client expects you to follow the particular desired quality and also submit this particular project or release this particular project to them by the period of time which you have mentioned, which is a feasible time, which can be provided to you by the time, and also it should be done. All the activities, all the tasks, all the responsibilities, and the complete finishing of the project should be done by the time which you have mentioned while accepting this particular project from your client. So that's all about planning things. Next, move on to our next phase, which is nothing but monitoring. Now let's move on to our next phase, or the second phase of our performance management cycle, which is nothing but monitoring. Monitoring is a crucial phase which helps us in achieving the goal set in the planning phase. In the planning phase, we saw what are the things that we need to be implementing and how we should be implementing, and what is the kind of mindset that we should be having, and what is the kind of approach that we should be following to get the particular things done in the proper manner so that we are getting the desired output. So we have made a complete plan on those, and in monitoring, it helps us to achieve these particular goals which were set in a planning phase. So that's exactly why monitoring is important in the performance management cycle. Monitoring needs to be done in frequent intervals to analyze the progress at each stage. Whenever we need to implement something, it is very often that we actually divide the entire task into small tasks or small activities which we need to be implementing. So here in monitoring, we actually monitor and we actually analyze whether the things are going according to our plans. So we can have a great idea on understanding how the things are being implemented. So we'll be having to monitor and make an analysis and also come to an understanding whether things are going at frequent intervals of time, and also understand how the progress is actually going, whether it is going in the desired direction or whether something needs to be implemented or something needs to be followed so that it can be even made better. Monitoring helps in offering help if needed, assistance in solving any problem, and even to adjust the set goals accordingly. So when we are monitoring or when we are seeing things when it is actually happening, we'll be able to know whether the things are actually happening according to our plan. Is it actually a feasible plan? And while implementing the things which we actually had in our mind, is it actually going according to our plan? Or there was some actually a struggle or a hurdle that we didn't foresee while in the planning phase. So in such cases, we'll be able to offer help. We'll be able to provide assistance in solving any problem. So if the team or if the team members are actually coming across any problems or troubles while implementing according to the plan, we'll be able to pitch in and help them out or sort them, help what can be done or how to solve a particular problem which they are facing. At times, there might be certain circumstances that we'll be able to set or adjust the set goals according to our convenience so that we'll be able to get the particular thing out in the most perfect way manner. So here and there, we'll be able to slightly adjust according to our needs, wherein which we'll be able to make necessary changes towards the set goal which we actually had planned in the initial phase. So here, when these particular struggles or when these particular hurdles which we didn't foresee are happening, we'll be able to adjust our goals which we actually set so that we'll be able to implement the things in the right proper manner, even though we are actually making some adjustments here and there. Breaking the goal into monthly sub-goals can smoothen the functioning of the team. So it is so sure that when you are actually focusing on something, when you're preparing for exams, when you're doing any project or any task which is assigned to you, it is so certain that we'll not be able to complete it in one go. We need to be focusing on it, studying upon it, doing the research, trying implementing it, taking the advice from your mentors or the people who are actually familiar with the particular topic or actually experienced in the particular domain. So various stages and various activities and processes need to be done while implementing this. So here in monitoring, we can divide each of these activities into several groups or several subcategories of projects or sub stages wherein which we'll be able to look into each of them separately, and also it will help us to function in a much more smoother way when compared to looking at the particular project or particular task as a whole. So breaking down the things into smaller chunks will be helping us to monitor and also to perform in the most effective way possible. Now moving on to the third phase or the third stage of performance management cycle, which is nothing but reviewing. In order to reach reviewing, we have to pass the first two phases, that is nothing but planning and monitoring, and then comes reviewing. And what exactly happens in reviewing? Reviewing is the phase where the employees and the managers sit together and evaluate their performance during their performance period. So it is not just the employees who sit together, or it is not just the managers of several departments who sit together. It is both the employees and the managers sitting together with their team and discussing or evaluating their performance which they had performed or they had achieved during that particular performance period. The performance period can be varying, maybe 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or even 1 year. So depending upon what is your performance cycle or performance period, and how well did you perform during that particular period, how well did your team perform, and what were the kind of evaluations and the feedbacks and the kind of learnings that you came across by reviewing your performance for the particular performance period. That's exactly what is happening in the phase reviewing of performance management cycle. The phase allows collaboration within employees, bringing in new ideas and building a solid bond within the team. So it is not just that through one person or through one manager that the particular meeting or the particular reviewing is done. It is through getting all the ideas, bringing in new values, new methodologies, their inputs. We'll be able to inculcate all those things in such a manner that we'll be able to make all these things to the advantage of the particular company, the particular team which you're working for, and bring in more benefit and better output by working in the most efficient way, right? So for that to happen, you need to be talking with your team. You need to be building the bond. You need to be building the relationship within your team so that you'll be able to get more ideas and you'll be able to implement new things and come up with new strategies so that you'll be able to get the most out of by implementing the best things in the right possible way. So that is exactly what happens here. Involving employees to review discussions make them feel valued and will work more efficiently to attain their targets. Because whenever you are actually asking for their feedback, how did they feel by working on this particular target during that particular period? When employees are actually having their voice to raise their concerns and also to give in their feedback or reviews, they are feeling valued. So whenever they are feeling valued, they'll be working more. And whenever they are actually giving you some ideas or inputs, and whenever you are incorporating all those things to the particular team, the employees itself will be working together to achieve that, because it is the particular recommendation that the employees have given to you. And when you're adopting that, the employees will be happy, they'll be satisfied, they'll be even motivated to work towards in achieving that particular target. So they'll not be saying that, okay, fine, this is not possible, because that is the recommendation which was made by them. So it is they themselves that made the particular recommendation and we are incorporating that, so that the employees will not be unsatisfied, they will be satisfied and they'll be performing to the best of their ability to get what is required. Future development areas and processes are also often discussed in this particular review process. So after this review is done, we'll be knowing what was the thing that actually went wrong, what could they have been improved, and what was the mistake that they actually made. So by understanding all those things, we'll be able to develop a future plan wherein which we'll be able to eliminate all such negative sides which we had performed during this particular period. So by focusing on these many things, we'll be able to come up with a better plan to implement the things in a much better way so that we are not affecting our personal time and we are able to get the work out with much ease and effortlessly to bring in the much better quality output to the company by working in the most productive manner. Now moving on to the final stage or the final phase of performance management cycle, which is nothing but rewarding. What exactly is rewarding and how much importance rewarding is having in the performance management cycle? Let's have a look on that. Rewarding is the most important phase in the performance management cycle since it is the key for keeping your employees motivated. If you are rewarding your employees in the right time for the right work they have performed or they have done or they have accomplished, it is your responsibility to reward them. And if you are rewarding them, it is so certain that they'll be happy, they'll be motivated, and they'll be encouraged to work more efficiently and effectively and bring in more value to the company which they are working for or to the team which they are part of. Employees who do not get deserved reward and recognition will not feel like giving in more effort because no one values their effort or no one is actually valuing whatever he is doing. Just imagine yourself in that particular situation, that you're spending a lot many time, effort, and all your time spent is on work and not on your personal arena. So if you are actually working on something with utter dedication and determination, and even after that you are not being valued, no one is actually rewarding you or recognizing you or giving any appraisals or appreciation. If that is the case, even after putting all these efforts which you have put in to get the particular output, and even then no one is appreciating you, you would be feeling like, hey, no one is actually valuing me, no one is actually considering my effort, no one is actually appreciating the kind of determination and hard work that I have put into this particular work. And if that is the case, if no one is actually bothers about this, then why should I actually work like this? What is the need for me to work like this if no one is actually caring for this? If no one is actually knowing or valuing me or valuing my work? It is as simple as that. So it is very much important for you to reward your employees when they perform to the particular point, right? So it is very much important. Rewards and recognitions should be given based on the performance and the results that they have brought to the particular organization which they work for. So rewards and recognition is not something that you need to be actually giving to all the employees every time. It is not like that. You should be rewarding, you should be actually appraising, you should be actually giving them their feedback and also motivating them based on the particular performance that they have put forward. Have they done well? Do they deserve a recognition or a reward? Then give it. And if you think that the particular person has not performed well and he needs to be improving, then what you need to do is not give a reward, but give the right feedback to that particular person who's actually in that particular area where he needs to be improving. He needs to know what are his flaws and how can he improve that. So the reward for him will be the feedback that you will be giving. So the reward can be coming in various forms as well. If you think that particular person has been performing well throughout the particular project and has done a great work, then reward them. Or else the reward would be feedback. Help them know what they are lagging in and how they can improve and how they can bring in value to the organization which they are part of. One-time bonus, increase in compensation, vacation, promotion can be all various forms of rewards that you will be able to give to your employees who are working with you or in your team. So it is not just that, a reward can be just increase in compensation. It can be as adding on to a new promotion. Maybe you are actually assigning him on a new particular project which is of high importance and valuable project which will be an asset for him in his professional career. So all those things can be considered as a reward. If you're performing well, you'll be getting the best project out of the particular company which you're actually working for. If you're not performing well, the particular projects that will be assigned to you will be of that grade only. So it is not just that increase in compensation, vacation, or any other sorts of appreciation. So it is not mandatory that an increasing in your compensation or a vacation or a promotion is not just what is a reward. So all these things comes into picture when you are actually thinking of a reward, of an appraisal or an appreciation for the work which you have done. And finally, we are here at the end of this particular course, completing all the modules and the topics that we had planned to cover in this particular course on performance management. So what exactly have you learned by now on performance management? What are the various topics that we covered in this particular course on performance management? So to brief you, we started off by understanding what is performance management. What exactly is performance management, right? So we had a brief understanding on that in the initial phase of this particular course on performance management. And right after understanding on what exactly is performance management, we went on to understand what is corporate performance management. What is corporate performance management? Corporate performance management is nothing but managing the performance or evaluating the performance of the complete company as a whole, of the organization or the particular firm which you are part of. So how is the performance of that particular company going? So it is on that basis what corporate performance management talks about. And then we moved on to our next module, which is nothing but people performance management. What exactly is people performance management? How well are your employees or the people or the human resources in your company doing? Is their performance good? Is their performance well enough? And what can be done to improve the performance at which they are working for your departments, for your team, and for your organization as a whole? So that's exactly what we saw in people performance management. And after that, we went on to understand, or we went on to our next module on performance management programs. What are the various performance management programs that we had, or the techniques that we'll be able to inculcate to bring in more performance to your company? Aligning your goals with the particular tasks which you're assigning to your particular employees, and also having a determined job role when you're actually hiring your particular employees, and assigning the tasks or project to the right people who's actually having experience and who will be able to take up that, and also conducting regular meetings and all such activities, right? So measuring the overall performance. So all these things are the various performance management programs that we had dealt with. And then we went on to our final topic for this particular course on performance management, which is nothing but performance management cycle. So what are the various phases or the stages that are involved in performance management cycle? It is nothing but planning, wherein which we'll be developing our plan. Then we'll be moving on to our next phase, which is nothing but monitoring, wherein which we'll be monitoring all the activities that are being taking place within the department, within the team, and within the organization. So that is all about monitoring. And then we went on to reviewing. What is the kind of performance and how well did we do that? And what are the negative impacts that we had? And what are the mistakes that we did? And how can we improve on all these things, right? So all these things comes in the phase or the third phase of performance management cycle, which is nothing but reviewing. And finally, coming to our last phase of performance management cycle, which is nothing but rewarding. So rewarding the employees for the particular achievement they have brought to the particular organization which they are a part of, and also rewarding for the commitment, the dedication, and the particular result which they have brought in. And we should be rewarding them with whatever they deserve. It can be an appraisal, it can be a promotion, it can be a new task which is assigned to them, it can be an increase in compensation or any other tasks. So these are the various things, or these are the various topics that we had in this particular course on performance management. I hope you had a fun and informative session with me, and let's meet soon with another course. Thank you so much.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing. So make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video with any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.